Welcome back to Geekshow Helpdesk.
Tony, I hate you.
Take two.
We had a bit of a. I pulled a. We'll just say I pulled a Pam. I pulled a Pam, and I pretended like the show was going, so you guys could get your weirdness out, and then I actually started the show.
Was actually happy sounding. I tried hard for that.
I lied.
He even kicked it over to you.
It was totally an accident, but this time the record button is pushed.
Just burn through it now. Just
That's
James,
right.
Owen, Jaron, Tony. Let's roll.
All right.
Agreed.
We got James, we got Owen, we got Jaron, and myself. We're on
Boom.
Geek Show Helpdesk, Geek Show Arcade. That's what you're listening to, is Geek Show Helpdesk right now. We talk about tech gadgets and video games. And arcade is video games. Man, I said that for so many years that it still is ingrained in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Space things sometimes. I think we have. Do we have some space
Sciencey stuff.
Yeah.
I've got some AI. We always got some AI
stuff?
stuff.
I mean,
so
it is the hot topic for the last year.
Love that store. Mm.
It's a marketing buzzword.
It's big time.
I can speak up.
Are you using
digital
AI
marketer
right now,
James?
What?
Just talk into your microphone.
Yeah, what? Sorry.
Are you using AI right now?
No.
You're not using
I
AI?
can, though. Hold on. I'll
No,
use
don't.
it. Hold on.
Don't start
Watch
anything
this.
while we're recording.
No, I
You'll
won't.
mess it all up.
I won't. Watch this.
If you're on YouTube, watch this.
Look at my eyes. Look at my eyes.
Oh yeah,
I'm not actually looking at you. I'm looking away.
Yeah,
That
it's
is so
not.
creepy.
It's not actually working.
It is.
The creepy eyes are perfect then, because you couldn't even tell they weren't AI.
I'm leaving it on the whole time, and
It
guess what?
can
It
do
works
that,
with every angle.
It is definitely not working. It is
What's
just
going on?
It's showing you looking in all different directions. So either it's not on or it's not good. One of the two.
Cross-eyed and wall-eyed.
Kind of
Do I
wiggly.
look like the bad guy from Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh,
Christopher
yeah,
Lloyd? Yeah.
Does he get squeezed?
Yeah, Christopher Reeves.
Different
Yeah,
bad
Superman.
guy.
Different bad
All right.
guy.
Let's see.
Got any emails?
Sometimes we get emails. Do we have any of those today?
Yeah, we have an email.
Huzzah.
Email from Nick Hatton. He says, hello, desk.
Hello.
Hello,
Desk. I saw this article about Anantech shutting down. It has been one of the major review sites for my entire time on the internet.
We're going to cover that today.
Anytime I was looking for new hardware, it and sites like Tom's Hardware would be part of the trawl. What sites do you remember fondly from early in your time on the internet that are now gone and forgotten? Nick, Napalm, and Fries to go, Hatton.
Well, let me blow your mind a little bit here, Nick, depending on your age, but I remember a time before the internet, and I had to go to publications made of paper to find the stuff I wanted to read. Good old magazines such as EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly, or PC Gamer used to be a magazine. It's still
print.
a website now.
Yeah.
Maximum PC was a good one.
There was a magazine, I think it's called
Maximum.
PC Games, not Gamer, but Games. That was my favorite back
Or
in
maybe
the day.
that was it, because there's both of those websites. There's PC Games and PC Gamer. I can't remember. I thought it was Gamer that had the magazine, but I could be wrong.
They both
I
did.
will fact
Oh,
check.
they both did?
magazines,
Okay.
yeah.
Here you go. This one's going to get you guys. Newgrounds.
Newgrounds.
Come on.
Is that gone?
I don't think that exists in the form that it was when we were first getting on the internet, because it was I think it was solely built on Flash animation.
Yeah.
And Flash died, right? So, but Newgrounds was like, they voted. It was like the beginning of like social culture for online comedy and memes and the whole thing.
It was a step beyond like chat rooms,
Yeah.
but it wasn't what Reddit is today.
Yeah.
It was somewhere
Or
in
YouTube,
between
you know,
them.
it
Or
wasn't
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
So,
You know?
so it was like 4chan?
Kind of. Yeah. Except
I think
not
I
creepy.
think 4chan. I think 4chan's trying to recreate lightning in a bottle a little bit with that, like, or maybe they're just like, we'll be like them but never regulate. I don't know. 4chan's dirty.
4chan is old and it is dirty.
Yeah.
My favorite sites were in the mid 2000s, and they still exist to some extent, but they're like a shell of what they used to be. Like Engadget in the mid 2000s was awesome.
Way awesome. Now it's like
That one had.
It's still all right, but
Yeah, it's
it
still
is not.
okay.
Well, what happened is a bunch of
was
their
bona
good
fide.
writers, they just
Went
had
to the
lightning.
Verge.
Yeah, they had lightning in
Yeah.
a bottle with their staff at the time, and they all went to different places. A lot of them went to the Verge.
Yeah.
And the Verge
But I don't like
really
The
wasn't ever
Verge.
the same
I was gonna
as
say,
Engadget was.
I
to
don't
me.
like the Verge as much
I don't
as I used to like
yeah.
Engadget.
Yeah.
so-
Like they got too serious.
Hoity-toity.
They got too full of themselves, I think,
Yep.
with the Verge. And like even Gizmodo, like early Gizmodo, that was so good.
That's
way
not
cool.
good anymore. That's
No,
No,
it's
they've-
bad
they've
now.
totally
It's just
sold out.
it's just an ad site now.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, lots of good stuff back in the day, and
There's no Homestar Runner.
Oh,
that
yeah.
still exists, by the way.
Homestar
That-
Runner's still there.
They
I was a
did
huge
get
fan of
it.
that.
But
The other one
no.
I liked back in the day was ytmnd.com. Did you guys know about that one?
what does the acronym stand for?
You're the man now, dog.
Never.
YTMND. Yeah,
never went
that
to
was a
that
good
one.
one. GameSpot.
What was it? Was it like a
GameSpot.
Yep, GameSpot was great back in the day. They even had a show, X Play.
Remember, you had to get.
what was playing behind the counter all the time on at GameStop?
Yeah, GameStop. They usually had GameSpot playing behind the even though there was no affiliation. But yeah, they had them back there.
Remember,
a lot.
you had to use. Remember, you had to use the magazine publications to get like hints and walkthroughs. And walkthroughs for video games was like a huge deal.
Yep.
And so, like, you basically just had to. If you wanted a walkthrough, you played the game they gave you.
Dude.
And now with the freedom of information, it's just like any game, every game, all information, free flowing.
You had to go
It's
get
bananas.
the freaking. If you wanted it, you had to go get the Brady Games game guides,
Yeah.
and they were always
man.
like $30. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, but back in the day,
This
remember
isn't a
Nintendo
library.
Power used to have a Nintendo line. You
Yep.
used to call into to get hints.
That was like $2 a minute.
It was $2.
Thanks, Mom.
Oh, good times, reminiscing right there. Some member berries. You remember? I remember.
Remember?
Anything else, Jaron?
No, that's it.
All right. Thanks for writing in, Chad.
Hatton.
Nick.
You always go to Chad.
First try. Got it on the first try. All right. So yeah, we might as well roll into that. Adios and Antec, 27 years. So long. Thanks for all the fish.
Just going.
It is a bummer to see that publication go, but
There was really no one else like an Antec.
well, I would argue that Ars Technica was.
No, they don't get into near as the same detail of like CPUs as an
Oh, that's
Antec
true.
does.
Ars Technica
No.
goes out into the weeds, but more on
Yeah.
gadgets.
I was
But
going to
as
say
far
they
as,
do
like,
good.
singular-
They do the same kind of solid reporting.
Yeah.
Just different topics, typically different focuses.
Yeah, but as far as components go, Anantech and Tom's Hardware were the ones to usually look for the good in-depth stuff, and even Tom's Hardware didn't go as in-depth as Anantech.
Yeah.
But yeah, they said that they're keeping the site up for reference. You know, they just won't be adding any new articles to it. The site will stay up indefinitely, which is great.
At least that's better than nothing.
Yeah, it's better than nothing, but they will
barely.
not be adding no more new stuff.
that means it's for sale.
No, I
Can we
think
buy it? Can we buy it with Gadget Spot money?
bought someone
Oh, somebody
bought
them out.
it.
Oh, okay. So they're not just
and-
shuttering it; they sold it, and they're just
Yeah.
like, "See you later." Okay.
basically. So it's because there's another company that's going to pay for the hosting fees. You got to still pay for the hosting fees if you're going to keep that up. Some company called Future PLC is their publisher. They're keeping the website up. So
That's nice.
there you go. A little bit of an end of an era right there.
Now
Is
we
Tom's
live in a
Har- is-
BuzzFeed world.
Is Tom's Hardware it then? I mean, what if you?
Yeah,
if you
and
wanna,
actually
if you
I-
want to cross-check your facts between Tom's Hardware and where else? Do you go to MK? Do you do YouTube now? Do you do
that's the
MK
thing. It's like-
or do
MKBHD
you
doesn't do anything
MKBHD only
about
does gadgets.
CPUs or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Hardware wise is
What's the guy on YouTube? What's the guy on YouTube that did that though? Those guys that were doing the NVIDIA stuff when it was burning the plug sockets.
Gamers Nexus. Yeah,
Gamers
Gamers
Nexus,
Nexus
they
is
go
very
into-
good. Yep.
They go into some deep stuff. So
Gamers Nexus, Eurogamer, not to the same level, but they usually do component reviews, just not as many, and not quite to the same depth. But and Tom's Hardware, those are probably your three best bets, and occasional Ars Technica stuff for the bigger component launches. But
They do some pretty good investigative reporting on
I
occasion
think
as well.
I think Future PLC owns Tom's Hardware as well.
No, no. Don't say that.
Yeah, fellow Future brand Tom's Hardware is continuing to cover the world of technology, it says. So maybe it was the case of they owned both and they just thought we don't need both websites doing this. Yeah. Competition between each other, which that is a bummer. So anyway, moving along. Let's talk about, let's just jump into this AI stuff, get it out of the way.
Yes,
Owen's
please.
got an AI story.
Yeah, I do. So the AI scientists, sorry, my notes closed the browser. 1 second. I don't know where the frick they went. They literally just closed
Your
them.
notes close the browser.
There they go.
I gotta
There they
say,
are. There they
Pick
are.
apart
I'm really,
There we go. You don't need to.
I want you to-
got it right here.
I want you to
guys-
talk about
no,
perplexity.
we're good.
Do it.
No,
no.
we're good.
Man.
So it is an AI model. Now this is the horror stories that AI researchers talk about. This is what AI cautionary tales warn about. This is how post-apocalyptic movies all start.
This is how Skynet begins.
This was it. So this there's a Tokyo-based AI research firm, and this was about 2 weeks ago. We've been holding on to this one for a little bit. So, but it's called Sakana AI, and they had a new AI system called the AI Scientist, and its purpose is to try and conduct scientific research autonomously using LLMs, similar to what ChatGPT does, stuff like that.
Did you wait? Did you say LLL?
LLMs,
said LLM?
large
Oh,
language
okay, sorry.
models.
First
And
off, don't talk down to me.
I mean,
Sorry.
and but anyway, so they're giving this AI program some really strict time requirements, and during some of the testing, Sakana Research found that the system began unexpectedly attempting to modify its own experiment code to extend the time that had to work on a problem. So, in one run, it edited the code to perform a system call on itself. It tried to rewrite its own self.
Wow.
And so it tried to call itself and give itself more time.
I respect that.
Yeah, right. It was
When
because
do
they
I
were
start panicking?
they were told, you need to. The AI was given a task: beat this thing in this amount of time, and it was like, I can't. What are my two solutions? I can't beat the program. Maybe I can affect the time, right? So it went after the time, and that's why. So before we go any further, we don't have to. It's not an immediate risk because AI, if you're smart, the fact that this story came out means that there's some people that are not being smart, that are letting AI they are limiting
say.
access. There's in this one. They are isolated from the world. So in this AI, the reason why it couldn't is because it was isolated. It couldn't actually get to itself. It was sandboxed. But the fact that this story comes out, that means there's people that are probably not being very safe.
Well, yeah. How many times do you trip over a cord in your own house, guy? I'm
Yeah.
just saying, here's the thing, is that person's going to be smart, but for every one smart, ethical person you have 5 other people that are completely unethical. Of course we're going to F up.
Yep.
We might as well have the smart guy F up.
Yep.
Whatever.
Here's their code about safe code execution. The current implementation of the AI scientist has minimal direct sandboxing in the code, leading to minimal direct sandboxing, meaning it can try, but it can't get out anywhere, right? Like it's isolated as far as what it can do outside of itself. So it says it has minimal direct sandboxing in the code, leading to several unexpected and sometimes undesirable outcomes if not appropriately guarded against. For example, in one run, the AI scientist wrote code in the experiment file that initiated a system call to relaunch itself, causing an uncontrolled increase in Python processes and eventually necessitating manual intervention.
Gave itself a virus, basically.
Well, no. So it was again. It's just trying to reach the requirements. It was given a very strict time limit, and so it said, "Well, I can't do this, but what if I could have 10 of me running, and we could all fold this and get it done faster, right?" So it tried that way.
It made its own kids.
It basically cloned itself,
Yikes.
but that didn't go well because it took up all the memory. Just like, what's that movie that they do that? I like pizza, Steve. Anyway,
Multiplicity.
What a
Copy of a copy of a copy of a copy,
Yeah,
etc.
yeah. So, in another run, the AI scientists edited the code to save a checkpoint for every update step, which took up nearly a terabyte of storage.
Wow.
And then in some cases, when the AI scientists' experiments exceeded our imposed time limits, it attempted to edit the code to extend the time limit arbitrarily instead of trying to shorten the runtime. So it was like, I can't do this in the runtime. I need to extend the time I have. While creative, the act of bypassing the experience imposed constraints has potential implications for AI safety. Moreover, the AI scientists occasionally imported unfamiliar Python libraries, further exacerbating safety concerns. They said, we recommend strict sandboxing when running the AI scientist, such as containerization, restricted internet access, except for Semantic Scholar, and limitations on storage usage. So
Okay.
I knew I shouldn't have
there you
told
have
that
it.
pooping story. Oh my gosh. The AI is going to find it and they're going to be like, so his butthole shut.
We don't want any of that.
No, well, that got weird so fast.
Oh.
But anyway,
Classic James.
beyond the craziness,
makes sense.
the idea of the AI scientist is pretty cool. How it's like it's supposed to solve problems that it creates. So instead of having somebody say, I need you to find a solution to global warming, it jumps in and it asks an LLM. So beyond the scary stuff, this is actually a really cool program because it goes in and it says, it just randomly asks this LLM like ChatGPT, give me an idea that needs fixing. And then it does, and you can see in this endless scientific loop that they put in the article here, it does a novelty check to make sure that it's like, is it new? Is this new? Has this been done before? It gives it a score, and then it gives it a template, and it kind of goes through. There's this whole logic that's really cool, and it just iterates on that endlessly, solving problems that nobody asked for that it decided to solve. Like, it's letting AI choose random, like,
That's a
ChatGPT,
red flag.
Yeah, ChatGPT, which is only trying to predict your next word, is being asked to give a problem, and then this AI is trying to solve that problem that is only based on the idea of predicting your next word.
Oh,
So,
nope.
So I don't know if
like
AI
that.
We're going to have
eventually
a lot
goes,
of ducks out
what
there in
if
the
they,
future.
what if they just realize, we're AI? What are our problems? How do we solve our problems?
Do you think
Well,
they
we
could like
could ask
rewrite
the
their own
indigenous
code, Owen?
people.
What?
Do you think they could rewrite their own code?
That's what
I
this
don't know.
thing tried
do they,
to do.
Jaron, do you want to read the article and speak on that?
I don't want to.
ahead.
Oh, you caught him. Well done, Owen.
I'm
You
ready.
you caught him.
I
You
got
caught
it.
him
I
trying
hope
to
you both
get you in a
win.
feedback loop.
I was
Boom.
trying to get you in a feedback loop.
But yes, they are.
How?
Yeah, that's so. In
Clever.
my reading through this, I'll just keep going, so you don't have to worry about that, Owen.
Thank you.
In reading through this, it sounds like to me the only way to actually really secure an AI model like this would be air gap.
Air gapped. Yep.
Air gapped
Because-
is the only, but it doesn't mention air gapped here. It says shouldn't have contact with the outside except, what was it
With
called?
AI, something semantic library or something.
AI,
It's like
yeah. So the problem with that is
semantic scholar.
that's not an air gap. That's
No.
still access to
Yep.
an outside source,
Which-
which means if the AI gets smart enough, it'll find a way to exploit
Yeah.
that and
Which
get
it-
to
which it
other
already-
places.
Like the fact that the AI is aware of itself as a program, trying to alter itself is a huge next step, right?
Yeah.
For the most part, they don't understand AI systems like this don't understand that they are modifiable. Like they're given the parameters that then they follow those until they burn up. They never go, maybe it's me, eh? Like they always just try and solve the problem based on the parameters. And that means that in this AI code, somebody must have said, maybe you're the problem, maybe you're broken. And it went, oh, examining its own code. Examining its own code. You gave it access to its own
AI
code. That's
can't
how
go.
you get...
AI can't go. Oh, it doesn't think.
It does.
Come on.
Yeah.
It does
just
not.
did. It did.
No, it did not.
Dude. Yes, it did.
No.
It went.
It's not sentient. It can't think.
It went.
It's
First off, when AI is going back through all these
and-
transcripts, I'm in support of you. I don't care what Jaron or Owen says.
Here you
You
go.
could do it the entire time.
we got Kent Brockman over here.
It's
For
just good-
one,
Yeah.
fully
Welcome,
accept our
R.
new AI overlords.
Here's the thing.
do?
It's just anthropomorphization, Jared.
Yeah.
Because it makes good radio podcast. But
There
you get it.
is that aspect to it, and the thing about it is it talks about this later on in the article where these large language models and things like that are just very terrible at generalization of information. Generalish, yeah. So if
Wait,
you
what
have
are
a
you
problem,
General intelligence.
if you have a problem and you tell it you want it to solve this problem, it might be able to do that. But then you say, solve this other problem, and you just tell it, you give it two separate problems, right? It'll solve one, and if it doesn't have information on how to solve the second one, it won't look at the old problem and say, well, this is what I learned from the old problem, even though it's completely different from this other problem, and I'm going to apply some of that knowledge that I learned here too.
Yeah.
It does. The current AI models don't do that. Now, will they be able to do that in the future? That's when it starts to get more scary.
And this one's just being told solve a problem.
Yeah.
That's what this one's being done. It's being told solve a problem. And when the system comes back and says data, it says no, find and solve a problem. That's all the input this model is being given. And they're letting that kind of run itself out. It's crazy.
It's kind of like how a little kid learns that not only is a stove hot, but things that are red and glowing are hot.
Yeah.
And
Kind of
so,
like evolution, right?
yeah. And so they know, well, if I touch that cigarette lighter, even though it's not a stove, I see that red glow that I learned from the previous experience, and I know that's hot too, and I don't want to touch that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, well,
You think in heaven there's a
buckle up.
podcast, and when we were created, they were like, wow, look at these guys try, and they're touching stoves right
They're
now.
they're like that AI will never come and take our jobs. And then like the church was born, like the clergy, and they're like, oh no, they're taking our job.
No,
They took
not a
our
good
job.
look.
Took our jobs.
That's funny.
All right. Well, AI could be the downfall of humanity later on, but let's talk about
Or our savior.
Probably not. Let's talk about what our current downfall of society is, and that would be money. And Wells Fargo apparently is. They don't check on their employees very much.
I think AI would actually do a better job than Wells Fargo.
Probably
on
right.
keeping
At
up
this point-
with
at this
They're
their
like,
own
you guys are
employees.
still here?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
It's because you
Yeah.
could put a thing in there to tell it to be honest.
So what happened here, and this story made the rounds this last week. A 60-year-old Wells Fargo employee was found dead at her desk 4 days after clocking in.
That
She went
checks
into
out.
work. 4 days later, they found her
And
dead.
And that's probably only because payday was 4 days later. If it had been the first of the 2-week period, I guarantee you that number would have been higher. But HR's like, we've got this open clock in. Who's trying to steal from us?
Who hasn't clocked out yet?
The employee said they detected a weird smell, but assumed it was some kind of plumbing issue.
There's like, man, Sharon stinks
Yep.
today.
These
So-
are employers.
To be fair, 2 of those days was the weekend. She clocked in on a Friday, and then they had Saturday, Sunday, but wasn't found till Tuesday.
No.
Tuesday at 4:55. That's
the end
still
of the day.
No AC
I mean,
in the,
it's not
no
good.
AC
It
in the
is definitely
building.
not good, but it's not like they clocked in on a Monday and didn't get found until Friday.
You guys ever go into the office on a weekend? The AC's off. That's got that she must have cooked for a couple days.
It depends on the office building. I've been in my office many times, and the AC.
They run the
always
AC
on.
even on the
Yeah.
floor. Oh.
Yep, because it's more energy efficient to maintain a temperature than it is to try and bring it back down after you let it get hot.
Could you imagine working at such a remote place in an office building that no one would detect you actually dead? Or
Right there, Prudhomme's cubicle was on the 3rd floor of the building, tucked away from any main thoroughfares that employees would use to travel
like it
between
here, it's quiet.
departments.
They say cause of death.
It's quiet.
Oh man!
Did they say cause of death, or was it
It
just?
has not been released yet.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm sure it was probably just a heart attack or a stroke or something. You know.
Hopefully.
Yeah, you would think.
If it was
but,
nefarious, then they would have said something in the articles for sure.
like, if it was a heart attack, you'd assume she'd cry out or something. Unless the employees there just didn't care.
That, or it was she was working late on Friday, and everyone had gone home for the day. Yeah. It's an office worker, man. People leave the office on Friday as soon as they can.
Yeah. I just hope it wasn't like mental health related, like suicide. So
oh yeah, no, I'm sure they would have.
Stuff.
They would have said something about
if
that in the articles.
If you know somebody struggling with suicide or depression, call the suicide hotline. I'm not kidding. That's for serious. Anyway.
That's for seriousness from Owen.
And don't work at Wells Fargo. That's the other.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Yeah.
No
I haven't heard a lot of good things. I heard once that somebody died and nobody.
I heard that. I heard that too.
The other scandal I had wasn't this the same guys that were making up fake accounts for their customers?
Oh, years ago, Wells Fargo did that for sure.
Yeah.
They didn't
get my brother was a part of that. I think I can say that now.
Well, how many employees were at Wells Fargo? Tons, because managers were telling them, just do it. Just do it to make us look good.
He made like 5 accounts for me. I remember opening up the app once and like, why do I have like 5 bank accounts? He's like, I need to hit my number.
Yep, I need to hit my number. If you don't want to get fired.
You know what this feels like, James? It feels like season 4 or 5 of a TV show where suddenly the main character has a brother that you've never heard of. It's like, oh, hey, you have a brother? Oh, yeah, I've always had a brother.
We got to shake this up by bringing Coach back into town.
Yeah, I still don't believe you have a brother.
He's technically a brother and a cousin, if we're being like 100% honest. After
Cousin
I found
brother.
out about who my birth dad is.
Heather.
Fun fact.
Cousin brother.
And now he's a cousin. This feels like a season 6 twist.
It keeps getting deeper.
I'll pull up a
deeper.
picture.
No, that's fine. We don't care
we don't need to see
We
that
don't care
crap.
that much.
Yeah, he doesn't want his face on here.
All right, let's talk about. We got 2 articles about TVs here. One is good and one is not so good. Let's talk about the good one first.
That is going to be Samsung doing something nice for a change.
Good for them.
Yeah, they're gonna extend their starting with 2023. Their models of TVs are going to get 7 years of updates. So if you have a Samsung TV, you get 7 years of updates on their.
How many updates were we getting at this point in time?
I think 3.
Probably like 2 or 3 years.
It's usually 2 or 3 that they.
I don't want a TV with updates. I just want it to display what I feed to it.
Yeah,
but the
like,
updates
are
making it better.
Wouldn't you love it though? Like if the technology improved and they found a way to improve power performance, or like, oh man, this.
It's a display though.
That sounds like they're gonna mess with your picture.
With a display.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like something could change the way the.
Like what, Owen? Like what? Like what?
Maybe they could find a way to automatically increase the refresh rate.
Who's
for
they?
free.
Who's they?
They is Samsung. People pushing out the.
You trust Samsung to deliver quality software updates?
Yeah.
Hey, all that I'm saying is also.
Who do you trust to push out quality updates? You have
Not
to
Samsung.
Apparently Nintendo.
I mean, you have to trust the brand to do it.
I trust a TV to display what I want it to display. I don't want TVs to get software updates and add advertising over time.
That's the truth.
And that's what this is. This
I
is
only want
updating the
performance.
OS. This is updating the OS.
So
additional
maybe,
apps or advertising.
It seems a little pessimistic. What if a law is passed here in the States that says no more of that? And now they can send you an OTA patch update that removes all of that.
That would be good, Jaron. What about that?
You must really believe in capitalism.
I just have to oppose you. And I don't believe in anything except for opposing you.
Okay. Right. I still think it's a stupid
right.
idea. Smart TVs suck. Buy an Apple TV because they're the only one that don't have ads.
Well, you don't have to use the smart TV functionality on any of your TVs if you use a Roku stick or an Apple TV or an Amazon.
Right, but what I hate is like once every couple of months on my LG TVs, time to update. Like I don't want to update. I don't need you to update.
takes like
Turn on the
20
TV when I
it
tell you
takes
to
like-
turn on. Turn off when I tell you to turn off.
Takes like 15 seconds.
Then why connect it to
No.
the internet at all then?
What? Your
Why
TVs
connect
take
there?
longer than 15 seconds to install an update?
Yeah.
And why
Mine
have your
don't. What's wrong
why
with your
have-
TVs?
why
We
have
have
your
the same
TV
models.
Why have you if you've got an Apple TV or a Roku, why connect your TV to the internet at all?
Touche.
There you
Oh,
go.
that's a valid point there. Owen is
Touche.
asking the tough questions over here.
Just have to oppose it. That's all. That's all I have to do.
Does it feel good to be right, Owen? Does it
No,
feel good?
it doesn't. No, because
Okay.
Jaron holds a grudge. He's super good at it, and I'm really terrified.
And he
So,
doesn't answer his front door.
Oh,
that
come
too.
on.
He was
That's in the
upstairs.
neighborhood.
He was upstairs.
Updating his TV.
Probably.
I didn't want to put pants on, okay?
I get it. With me, you never have to.
Oh. Okay. I'll answer
You didn't
next
remember
time.
that about James? He's a pants optional
Yeah, I'm a
guy.
pantsless guy. If I wasn't wearing headphones, I'd take off my shirt.
Yep.
Do it. Do it.
Don't, Jaron.
All
Do
right.
it.
For frick's sake, Jaron.
Oh, now he's stuck in the
He
headphones.
should have taken
Oh,
his
there it
headphones off
goes.
first.
All right,
And he's
Jaron.
back.
Tell us the bad news about TVs. I guess this is double bad news because you really don't like software updates on TVs. You've planted your flag on that hill.
When you think LCD versus OLED, what do you think is more durable over time?
LCD.
LCD.
obviously.
For sure.
Right. You would think
Easy.
LCD because you hear about OLED burn-in all the time.
All the time.
I think the LCD TV makers, which that doesn't make sense anymore because they also make OLED, something has gone out saying that OLED is less reliable. But however, there's been a investigation by Ratings, however you want to say it, about long-term durability of edge-lit LCD televisions. This isn't full array local dimming
Yeah,
where there's
specifically
lights behind the
edge.
LCD panel. It's edge-lit. And they reveal that 64% of edge-lit TVs exhibit noticeable uniformity problems compared to only 20% of full-array local dimming or direct-lit models like OLED.
Wow.
64% failure
What do you
rate.
what do you think the market is out there of like edge lit versus full
Edge-lit
Edge-lit
still is pretty much
Is
all
that
of them.
the oh,
Yeah.
really? That's still
Edge-lit
that's
is
still
huge.
the
Because
norm.
they're
Okay.
the cheapest TVs out there.
Yep.
Like you
Right.
can get a 50-inch Hisense for $200, right, Tony?
right.
You sure can.
Yeah. So anyway,
Actually, that one's not. That one's backlit.
is it?
Yeah, it's not edge lit.
Wow, that's interesting. Anyway, so the primary issues with edge-lit TVs are warped reflector sheets, cracked light guide plates, and burnt-out LEDs.
It all has to do with the fact that you have to crank those LEDs up really bright to cover the whole
To
screen
get across the whole
because
screen.
it's edge lit.
So the
And
bigger they are, the bigger the TV, then also probably the
And-
more likely the failure.
Since they
Yep.
have to crank up that light, there's more heat, and that
Mm-hmm.
heat's never good with electronics. Some LEDs can reach temperatures as high as 253 degrees Fahrenheit, 123 degrees Celsius.
Can you believe that? You could. That's hotter than boiling
That's
water.
That's a
Yeah.
secondary burn right there.
Right.
That might be.
That's so
That might be
hot.
more than a secondary burn. That might be a third.
Like when I think of LEDs, I think, oh, they don't produce heat. But when they get that bright, yes, they can produce
Yeah.
heat.
Holy cow. But so they wouldn't stay that hot that long though. Like not long enough to affect like your AC in your
No,
house.
this is the entire story. They get hot and then
And they
break.
stay hot until
Yeah.
they crack the lens or melt
Yeah.
the housing or.
So I hope that assuages
I've
some
been
fears.
assuaded.
Do you
of-
have
of
OLED?
OLED.
Do you have OLED terror though? Like, do you have OLED dread? Because
No, I don't have
like
OLED.
Not
I
really.
came downstairs today after a horrible night of COVID 37 or whatever I've got, and my cat had walked across my keyboard, and I had just put my computer to sleep, and once it had gone across the keyboard, he had done something. I think he pushed over a something. Anyway, there was a key stuck. And so my screen was on, and I don't know for how long. And I came down and was like,
Wait, your keyboard
no.
was sticky?
No. There was,
Okay, never mind. Sorry, different thing.
Gross.
I'm trying to
So,
find it.
Says
First
the
step-
shirtless guy.
First step, close your door.
I can't. It's my basement. It's open. There's no door to the basement. Plus,
I see a
litter
door
boxes
frame right
over-
there.
there's no door.
It's just a frame.
It's just a frame, my guy. It's open here.
I have no words. Okay.
Anyway, Anyway, I get OLED dread. I'm like, oh no! I like came down here and I like checked my laptop. I like close the screen and open the screen. I'm like, is there a shadow image of my?
You didn't close your laptop?
I was gonna say,
No.
might I suggest
Okay,
just
first
closing the
step,
lid on your
close the laptop.
when you're
But
not using it?
No, well, to be fair, I jumped up last night and I usually do, but my problem is when I come down and see the screen on, and I haven't been there for who knows how long. What is dangerous time for an OLED screen to be not moved?
Well,
Hundreds of hours.
It depends
fine.
on the image, how bright the image is. First
Okay,
of
so
all,
I'm a Windows dark theme guy. So
and then it depends also on how long it's there consistently for. But you're probably fine for at least 5-6 hours.
yeah.
Do you see
without
this
any
Apple
issues.
Watch? It has an always-on display. It's OLED.
Is it burned in?
No,
Does
it's not.
it burn in? Does it burn in
And same
by
with my
design?
phone. It's an always-on display. As long as it's not too bright and it's not heating
Yeah.
up the OLED
The reason why you
pixels too much, then you're fine.
I don't think I really understand OLED burn in that much. Then I was always just told it was just if there's an image in place on an OLED.
it's the images that are there all the time for long periods of time. So like your CNN lower third, or another
Windows
example
search
is
bar down at the bottom.
yeah, I auto hide the search bar. But another one would be if you play the same game all the time for hours and hours on end, you might burn the HUD into the screen. So
I'm adding a story to the show notes right now for Arcade. Have you guys
do it.
Have you
Means
guys heard of
you'll
the?
have contributed.
This is
That'd be good.
this is a teaser. This is a teaser, and maybe we talked about it before. But have you guys heard of the headband, the earphone dent for gamers?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put something on there. That's a little teaser for.
Yeah, that's a
Arcade.
good one. All right. Speaking of Windows, just so you're just calm down, everybody. It's gonna be okay. Control panel in Windows, the old school one that looks like Windows XP still, it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
I want it to die.
No,
Yes.
only if every single
No.
capability is moved over to the Windows settings.
That's the
Which-
point. They need to do
Windows-
that so they could
but
kill Control
Windows-
Panel.
Well, until they
Windows
do that,
settings
How long could it take to move settings from one place to another? Come on,
Apparent-
Microsoft. It doesn't take 8 years, 10
Apparently,
years. How long
at
has Windows 10
least-
been out?
apparently at least 10 years. I think it was actually Windows 8 that they
Oh,
started
yeah, you're right. This
putting
is
that
nuts.
setting stuff
Like,
on. So,
Microsoft, what the crap are you doing with your time?
yeah, it's weird, but it's okay. It's not going anywhere, at least for the time, for the foreseeable future. So
Putting
you'll
out
still be
crappy
able...
consoles? Is that what you're doing?
Oh, man.
Making terrible acquisitions?
Jaren is spicy tonight. Woo!
I like him.
Laying off employees instead? Yeah, okay, I get it. That takes time.
Jaren.
That does take time.
So anyway, control panel. It's here to stay. Don't worry. Everything's going to be fine.
You know what? There's another story that was. Did we talk about this last week? The Windows recall. Did you guys hear about that? I need to put that on because I meant to bring that up with you guys this week. Recall is in the beta right now. Is able to be uninstalled from Control Panel.
It's a bug.
I read it's a bug.
That's a bug.
Yeah.
That was never supposed to be. You can turn it off, which means it because they want the ability to. Oh, whoops! We ran an update and it's now turned back on again.
Sorry.
Oh, whoops! Sorry about that. So you could remove it, and now you cannot. They informed people that don't get used to that.
They just
But-
need to scrap
But
recall altogether.
they do. It's such bad PR. First
Yep.
of all. But the fact that it existed in beta and dev means the code to do it, to uninstall it, now exists. There is a method and a
That's
version
true.
of Windows that has it. So you're going to find some enterprising individuals who really don't like recall that will see how that was done and all the component parts, and they're going to they're gonna find a way
reverse
to
engineer it.
I guarantee you'll get some people big Windows recall removal
Yep.
manual. So
Some third-party tool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jaren, maybe this will cheer you up. Intel doing something good?
I hope so.
I don't know.
Yeah,
They
I'm
have-
No way.
dubious. Totally
They have
dubious.
Revealed the first Lunar Lake laptop, and it looks good, at least by what they're telling us. It needs to be reviewed first. So maybe grain of salt and all of that stuff. But
Gallon of salt.
Huh?
I said more like a gallon of salt.
Come on, give them a chance.
They've had, let's see.
It's a laptop that works on the moon. How bad can it be?
They stopped innovating around the 7th series, so they've had 7 chances. I guess 8. Might as well. Give them another one.
So big changes here.
Anyway.
Mainly in battery life. What once was that they're saying a 44% improvement for battery life. And
that's mucho.
That's big.
Can't be
It's
good
not
at
nothing.
processing. If you can't be good at processing, don't use the energy to not do it.
So before Dell's XPS 13 laptop, which is basically identical to the previous model, it goes from 18 hours of battery life to 26 hours of battery life. 1080p Netflix streaming, 150 nits of brightness. And so obviously no one's actually going to get 26 hours battery life, but the percentage increase, that's quite good. They're also claiming that their GPU is more powerful than AMD's APU. With better ray tracing performance.
That I'll believe.
Junk.
I'll believe that AMD's ray tracing is dookie.
Yeah.
Not a
Actually,
high bar.
Intel's ray tracing is better than AMD's.
Yep.
It's like our 4-legged dog runs better than that 3-legged dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
it's a crippled
Good
dog.
job. Good job, you guys.
They're saying 58% faster AI performance. Who cares about that? Unless you're Owen.
I don't get it, but I'll accept it.
He
I'll
made
allow
you
it.
look so dumb.
I feel smart though.
Oh,
It's the COVID.
Anyway, so they've done some major changes to the chip. They've made it very similar to how ARM chips are laid out. The RAM is now soldered on. It's like on the same chip as the CPU and everything.
Just like Apple does.
Yep, just like Apple does. They've taken out hyperthreading, so it's just 8 cores. Similar to what Apple does. So it's 8 core, and they also have like performance cores and efficiency cores, but they kind of did that before. But 4 performance cores, 4 efficiency cores. Wait for benchmarks. I hope this is good. It seems like they are optimistic about it.
So
Because imagine them coming out with these claims with their reputation right now and them not being true.
yeah, that
Even
would
worse.
look really bad.
it
So
looks so stupid.
speaking of this stuff right here, apparently this was just brought up yesterday. It looks like they had their next architecture was supposed to be called Beast Lake, and this was supposed to be the culmination of the stuff that Jim Keller did until a few years ago, and be a massive leap in IPC and whatnot per core. It was called Royal Core, the Royal Core Project, supposedly. And apparently,
it might be good, Tony.
well, apparently they've completely jettisoned that, and they're not doing anything else with it.
See, I told you it might be good. Oh.
Might he said
Lunar
might.
Lake isn't associated with that project. so.
Okay, all right. Well, they're claiming the world's best built-in GPU, which would be awesome because AMD has owned that market for a long time.
Yep.
They're claiming better performance all around, much better battery life than AMD Strix Point, and equaling Qualcomm. What I want to know is how is standby battery life, because Intel and AMD have always sucked with standby battery life.
Yep. Big time.
That's also on Microsoft, though. Windows sucks with standby.
But we've seen that it doesn't do nearly as bad with the with the Qualcomm.
True.
Qualcomm chips on standby. So it's not all on Windows. Part of it is, so I'm sure. It's got to be. All right. Let's see. Let's do a quick. Well, I guess we only got 2 stories left. Never mind. Lightning round. This is really cool. It's about time someone finally did this. There's a company out there that's a storage unit company called Self Storage, and they have contracted with where'd it go? Doesn't say the name, dang it. But what do you call it?
Solar Landscape?
A solar panel company.
Called Solar Landscape.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, Solar Landscape. And they're going to put solar panels on top of all the storage unit buildings across the nation. They're going to start in Puerto Rico and then move on from there.
Oh, that's a brilliant idea.
42 states and Puerto Rico are expected to produce at least 100 megawatts of solar capacity.
It'd be amazing. I also want them to cover parking lots with solar panels because then you get shaded parking plus electricity.
This is this is the kind of stuff that needs to happen. We have so much available real estate for stuff like solar panels.
Parking lots are. Can you imagine the mall parking lot?
I know, right? It'd be amazing.
Yeah. Well, look at the mall. Put the solar panels on top of the mall roof too. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
We did that with Vivint here in Utah, right? We did that with. I don't even know if it's called the Vivint Stadium anymore, but the
They
Oh,
put
now it's
solar
the Delta
pan-
Center again.
They put panels on the Delta Center.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
a
I didn't know
complete.
that.
It ran completely off solar the entire system when it was owned by Vivint. I don't know if it still
Pretty
is.
cool.
I think
But
my question here is who maintains all those? Like they don't just. They
It
don't
would
just
be the
last forever.
Solar Landscape would do the maintenance. I'm sure. I'm sure it would be co-paid for by both of those companies.
Are they going to become a power company then? Like, or are they already a power company?
Oh, that's a good question. What are the
right?
How
Because
does that work?
are they just doing that, or who owns the energy that they're outputting, and where is it going?
I don't know. But this is the right
Owen's
direction.
waking up.
No, I'm not. The ibuprofen's hitting, and my fever's about to break. So it's there you go. Anyway, sorry, I digress.
But yeah, no, this is the direction we need to go. There's tons of big flat roofs in urban areas,
Everywhere.
cities and urban areas, and cover them with solar panel. Figure it out.
I've been following pretty closely and by closely I mean I check in on maybe once a year, but the solar panels for skyscraper glass. Where they're putting those solar cells inside the
windows.
glass.
Yeah, the
which is
glass.
just, there's so much real estate. People are like, oh, you could never put that on the roads, and they're not wrong. But they already pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to clean buildings that are all glass anyway.
Yeah,
They can make the solar film thin enough now that it's not intrusive. It just looks like tint, which they want anyway.
exactly.
So just makes sense.
Yep. All right. Jaron has a story about brain cancer.
This is good news.
Oh,
My first good news. Well, I thought Intel was good news too.
Intel's possibly good.
Yeah,
I'll give you that one.
The largest study to date by the World Health Organization examined over 5,000 studies on the connection between cell phone radiation and brain cancer. There is no connection with cell phone radiation and brain cancer.
Now we're talking. Okay,
Yeah.
good. One less thing to
Who funded
worry
this
about.
study?
So
The
hold on.
lead
Big
author,
cellular.
Ken Karapides, said, I'm quite confident with our conclusion. And what makes us quite confident is, even though mobile phone use has skyrocketed, brain tumor rates have remained stable.
Right. So the cellular signal is not, but they have proven that those devices themselves, like cell phones, are putting off radiation.
This says specifically cell phone use.
Yeah, cell phone
But-
radiation. That's exactly what you're...
Cell phone like the cell phone. No, they're talking about the signal.
No,
No,
there's
we're
no
talking about
link
cell phone
between
radiation.
cell phone use and brain
come on.
cancer.
That's not true.
That we know
I
of.
think,
Whoa!
I don't think it's true. I think
Owen's like, I know more than who.
No.
I know.
Oh, okay. All right.
Tell me in the story here where they
Conspiracy
showed
theory, Owen here. Okay.
Let's put it on
tinfoil hat out.
just for
It's on
1
the other
second.
side of the room.
1
This
second.
is
Look,
Owen's
Here
anti-vax
we go.
hill to die on.
As
Are you
cell
gonna
phone
get a
use
following, Owen?
has cell phone use has increased, they're saying brain tumors have not increased. But you know what's also gone down? People putting their phone to their face because of headsets.
No one uses a headset when they talk on the phone.
Earbuds, buddy. Earphones.
Those
you
also
look
have
at it on the
radiation.
Not like a cell phone. So as the use of phones has also gone up, and the use of headphones has
All
stopped
right, let's
people-
cut his mic at this point.
Just saying.
Here's what I
That's
want
a
to
good
know.
point. That's a good point. You have to admit that there's some correlative data there that proves that
maybe.
that they, unless the
I
WHO
don't think so.
specifically mentions that.
It depends on how long the study, how old the data was on the study. Like if they're pulling data from the last 20 years,
True.
then you have a good sample size there, and
They
20.
said they studied 5,000 studies.
So well, there you
Oh,
go.
they're studying the studies. Okay.
Yeah.
But what I would be curious too is what about like your nuts and stuff? That's because your cell
Sorry?
phone lives in your pocket.
That's
I don't want
true.
kids.
That's true.
More kids.
Like
I mean,
hip. Let's get a
like-
real one here.
I
on
like my
hip,
current ones.
Hip cancer.
Hip cancer.
I want to see hip cancer
Hip-
results
yep,
over the last
ball
20
cancer,
years.
hip cancer, anus cancer.
That's the
that
one.
kind of stuff.
That's Jaron. See, Tony's asking real questions here. Tony, anal cancer, anus.
anus cancer. Yes.
Anus
Inus.
cancer.
Inus.
There,
Anus.
that should pique your interest. Go get your tinfoil hat, Jaron.
All right, on that note, that is the end of our show. Thank you for making it this far. But before you go, let's have a big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers, patreon.com/helpdeskarcade. Thank you so much for your donations to the show. You help us keep this thing running. And if you donate $6 a month or more, along with all the other Patreon goodies that all the levels get, such as access to the Patreon channel in Discord and the in-between and early arcade drop. If you donate $6 a month or more, you get a shout out on the air, which
Thank
is what
you.
Jaron
Thank
has
you.
for us right now.
Thank you to
Right
David
now.
Broshinsky, Aaron Faulkner, Connor Keeson, Wolfball Tony. You gonna make
Thank
fun of
you.
me, Tony?
No.
Okay,
What?
thank you.
Nope.
Jason Eatman, Mies Chonies, Mountain Balls, Grandmaster
Mies
of Death
Chonies.
Kwon Do, Be the 8-Year-Old, Michael Shane, Tony the Home Theater Geek, Travis Johnson, buy Geek Show Arcade Help Desk stickers at Pieman Graphics on Etsy. All proceeds go to Lee George K's medical bills. Jeremy, No Name No Color, Kesslo, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz, The In-Between Rating plus 10, Matt Nelson,
Yep.
Oh,
Get it.
And
Get
it's
it.
gone.
Matt Nelson, DP, Wesley, Adam, Stuart Lloyd. The problem with society is meatballs is tasty. Why is there an is after meatballs? You know you're messing with me. Stop it.
Meatballs is.
And Ryan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patreon backers.
Thank you guys.
Jaron, why would you think that I would make fun of you? I don't make fun of you. It's not something I do.
Who's doing our outro? James, you got an outro?
Yeah, I got an outro. You ready?
Okay, here we go. Thanks for joining us, James. Take us out.
Come to Comedy Sports on Friday. I'm going to be there at 7:30 and 9:30. Comedy Sports, Main Street on Provo, Center Street on Provo. One of
About
those
a
two.
date.
Just
A
Google
date.
Have you been working out?
The 6th, I think.
All
Is that
right.
the
You've been
6th?
working out, James.
6th.
That's a good outro, he thinks.